Hi everyone, I am Stacy Itzel in Annapolis, Maryland,
I'm Julie Ritter from Mesa, Arizona.
and we are so excited that you are committed to your goal of building a team and promoting to director in Pampered Chef. When you reach this goal, you will enrich both your life and the lives of so many others. Now, it's going to be work and it won't always be easy, but no one remembers easy. We remember the challenges and the hard things that we work for in life. You're already doing the hard work just by watching this training, and we are so proud of you. Even when you find yourself struggling or maybe falling behind or wanting to give up, remember why you started this journey. We promise we won't give up or quit on you. So promise yourself today that you won't quit on you either. And you know what? Everything in this business starts with bookings, and that's what we're going to talk about first. Take it away, Julie.
All righty. Well, I am very excited to talk about bookings. Your party schedule is the foundation of all of your success. The magic in this business happens in parties, and it happens in enough parties. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is booking a full calendar for the next 2 weeks. Successful leaders hold 4 or more virtual parties each week. And I know that your goal is to be a successful leader. So let's talk about it. It's all in the numbers. There is a formula for success. And what we're going to challenge you to do, that we do ourselves, 30 contacts a day, every day until that calendar is full. And remember, what are we defining as full? 4 parties, 2 weeks in a row. That's what we're focusing on. That's your definition of full. All right. So when you are doing your contacts, something that's really important to remember is you are going to focus on your determination to book parties, not your desperation. You're going to focus on being excited about booking parties and remembering, what are you asking people to do? Something really fun. People love food. People love friends. People are on social media anyway. So remember what you're asking them to do. Remember to include phrases that are very uplifting and not desperate. Things like, I'm so excited because, I can hardly wait to tell you this. Not, can you help me out? I need this. I need that. Don't be needy. Be excited. Now, I will clarify for those of you who are new, and only if you're new, we give you a pass to play the help me card, kick off my business. But remember to temper that with also lots of excited words about why you're getting started and what you know that people are going to get to enjoy. And make it personal. People typically are going to be drawn to either the food, the fun, the friends, the free of hosting a party. And then remember to finalize. Always ask for a date or a commitment by including a question in your contacts. Don't just say, so let me know if you might be interested. That's not going to finalize anything. That is not an ask. An ask should always have a question mark at the end. So make sure you look at your message or your text before you send it and see a question mark so that you're saying something like, so what do you think? Or how does that sound? Want to grab a party date? And it's all very exciting, very uplifting. Those are the numbers. Those are the ways that you're going to go after success as you do your 30 contacts every day.
All right. So there's a phrase in our business, and it's the fortune is in the follow-up. So when you're making those contacts, it is so important to track the people that you're reaching out to so you know how to follow up. So I'm going to give you a really simple system on how to track, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the why of the tracking. So first, all you need is a piece of paper or a notebook. You don't need a master's degree to be a tracker in Pampered Chef. So here's just an example of a tracker that I wrote out for you. All you need is a column for name, at least 4 columns for reach outs, and then a column for your responses right there. So here's why you want to track that. You're going to get a lot of people that will say yes right away when you're when you reach out to them, they're going to be so excited to book a party with you. And we'll talk about where to book them in just a minute. So those yes people, you can just put yes right on the tracker and then get to booking with them. You're also going to get people who are going to say no right away. And that is normal. We want you to expect the no, get comfortable for no, and even go for the no, because we know that is, we KNOW, we know that when you go for the NO no, you will always find yeses along the way. And those are typically your first responders, your yeses, your excited yeses, and your emphatic no's, hard no's. But what about all of the people who see your message, you can see that they saw your message and they don't respond? Following up with them in the next 24 hours is so important. So let's talk about why people don't respond. There's usually 3 reasons. First, they saw your message and then the door bell went off, the phone rang, the 2-year-old spilled the milk or wants a cookie, the light turned green because maybe they saw your message pop up while they were sitting at a red light and they read it real quick. You know, people are guilty of doing that. And then they moved on to what they needed to do next, and then they just forgot that you messaged them. So when you, and they probably were a yes, right? They were a yes, they were going to do it. So when you reach out to them again the very next day, you're reaching out to them while that yes is fresh, while they're leaning towards the yes, and while someone else hasn't come along and filled a spot of their time on their calendar, right? So we want to get them while they're in that yes mode. The second reason why someone might not respond right away is because they just are unsure. They're a maybe. They are, what is Pamper Chef? I've never heard of that. They could be, I want to help my friend, but I'm not really sure about the time commitment that it'll take from him or her. And I don't want to say no right away. So I'm kind of thinking about it. Or they're, oh my gosh, I don't know if I feel comfortable doing this. So they are not a no, they're not 100% yes. So again, you want to follow up with them within 24 hours to get that conversation going with them so that you can overcome some of their fears or maybe some of the objections that they have. And then the third reason that people might not respond is because they just didn't see your message. That's pretty normal. Like, not everyone checks Facebook Messenger all the time. Maybe they don't even have the app downloaded on their phone. So if you're messaging them over and over again and you're not getting a response, try another form. Maybe try texting them. Maybe try email if you feel like they may communicate best that way. Try picking up the phone and calling, or maybe just walk next door if it's your next door neighbor and talk to them. The point is, you want to follow up with anyone who is not responding every 24 hours until you get the no. Once they tell you no, just thank them for their for letting you know how they feel, and say, if anything changes in the future, I hope you'll think of me. And then, it's not just hosting a party. That's not the only need we can meet from them. Maybe they say that they want to be a customer, so you can add them to your contacts list. Maybe you have a VIP group that you're starting. You can add them to that, or ask them to like your business page and follow that, where you'll be sharing recipes and tips. Or they might say, I want to buy. And then when you are hosting your own parties, you can make sure you have put them on the guest list of people to invite for when you host your own parties. Okay, so you know what you're going to do with the no's. You know how to follow up with your maybes. Let's talk about booking those yeses. What we want you to do is to pick your next available date, one date, and get laser focused on that one date. So if you book parties on Fridays, look at your calendar now for the next available Friday. If you book your parties on Mondays, look at your calendar now for the next available Monday. And you're going to keep making those 30 reach outs a day and tracking them until you have 4 parties on that next available day. Don't stop making contacts until that date is filled. Here's what's going to happen. And when the people say yes, you're just going to offer that date. Some people will say, yes, Stacey, I would love to host a party for you, and I'm actually leaving for vacation that day. No worries. How about the next available Friday or the next available Monday or whatever your next available date is? And then something else could happen is, you know, you reach out to someone and they say, well, I would love to host a party that day, but, and they give you whatever reason, and it's another 2 to 3 weeks before they're actually available to do it. Go ahead and get them booked on that date, however far out it is, but start with your first available, go to the next, go to the next, go to the next, until you find the date that works for both of you. What will happen is as you are laser focused on that first date, you're going to fill in later dates. So once that first date is booked, you look at the second date and you find that you find that you have already booked 1 or 2 parties. So then you just get focused on filling the gap. You need to book 1 or 2 more. Maybe you don't need any more. Maybe you filled both dates going for that first date. It's just really important to stay focused on that one date. And here's the thing that we want you to know. Right now, you're trying to get this business whirlpool going. You're trying to get a lot of movement, and a lot of energy goes into making a whirlpool, right? Like think about if you ever made a whirlpool as a kid. You walked in the same direction over and over and over and over and over again until you got the whirlpool going. And it was a lot of work. This is temporary. We're only asking you to create this whirlpool one time, because then the plan is to do the work now, get the business up and going, running, get your calendar full, and then book from your parties. So we're going to show you a really quick visual on how that will work for you. Share my screen. Oops, lost my Canva. There it is. All right, so imagine that this is your next 2 weeks of parties right here. We've got this whirlpool going. And you've already heard us talk about how one host might flake, one host should flip and join your team. So if this is host number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, let's say these 3 parties do really, really well. You get 3 bookings from this host. You will take those bookings and book them in week 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. This is another one of your hosts that flies. So you're going to take his or her bookings, book them here, here, and here. So this is spacing it out a little bit so you don't have your host in 4 parties that were booked off of hers in the same week. Now here's your host that flipped. He or she joined your team, so those bookings are going to go to him or her. And then this one represents your host that flaked on you, so you didn't get any bookings. So you don't see future bookings represented on here. Look at week 2. This is your host that flips. He or she joined your team, so no bookings represented on your calendar. This is a host that flies. They didn't join your team, so here are the 3 bookings that came from that. This is your host that flaked, no bookings, and then here's your other host that was flying, doing awesome, 3 bookings. You create that whirlpool right here and then follow all of the systems that we have in place for you to get bookings from your parties. Your calendar will always be full. You're putting in the work now to create that whirlpool so that you can get on your little floaty or little noodle or raft and kick. You're still kicking, always working to keep the whirlpool going. It's just not as difficult.
That is so exciting, because we definitely love the idea of this extreme energy you put in, but it's not forever. And so when you get that whirlpool going and you're going to get the bookings from the parties, and then of course you heard about one of your hosts each week will flip, and that means they're joining your team. So how does that happen? Well, we want to handle that in 2 ways. When you have a host that decides to book a party with you and they did not sign up to book from someone's party, they're just an outside contact, they're someone that's a new friend of yours or an old host that wants to rebook, you of course are going to talk to them right away in your host coaching as soon as they book their party about the opportunity they have to actually be a consultant on your team. So what you can do is say something like this: I'm so excited for our party coming up. I have an idea. We could make this a launch party for you. You can earn the host rewards and the commission from the party. This may be the furthest thing from your mind, but I wonder if I could show you how you could do this business all online in just a few hours a week. Would you be interested in learning more? That's the very earliest conversation you're having with a host who booked outside of someone else's party. And you're going to hear yes more than you think. So don't skip this step. It's very, very important. Now, because we have an amazing host program that rewards our host when he or she gets 3 bookings, we don't want to undo their efforts and have a host flip and then leave their calendar opportunity or their, counting as one of their 3 bookings. So here's how we want to handle a host who is hosting who booked off of someone previously. You're tracking with me, right? You're tracking. I know you're tracking with me. Thank you. All right, here's some twist on the words. Listen to this. The twist on the words is, I'm so excited for our party. I have an idea. We could use your party to earn a discount of up to $50 on one of our new consultant starter kits. This may be the furthest thing from your mind, but I wonder if I could show you how you could do this business all online in just a couple of hours a week. Would you be interested in learning more? And that way they're still hosting their party. Their past host is still getting credit. You're going to turn it in as a party, but they're going to use part of their credits toward a consultant kit. So they're going to commit to, yes, I want to do that. Or you're at least planting the seed for that. So at any time before that party is turned in, that you're doing that. And that's going to preserve the host and still you're doing your job, because we know one of our #1 recruit leads is in fact our host. That needs to be a really important part of our host coaching procedures.
All right, thank you. So that's your training for today. Now we're going to give you the opportunity to apply the training. And let me talk about this phrase, hit apply. I learned this from a friend of mine. Have you ever done a change to your computer, or maybe a change to a party template? And in order for that change to actually take effect, you have to hit update or hit apply. Each week, we're going to give you something to hit apply, an action to take. So this will be your homework. So Julie, you want to talk to them about the homework for this week?
Absolutely. So your homework should not be a surprise. You're booking 4 parties the next 2 weeks. You know why that's important. You know how you're going to do that. You know the words you're going to use, the mentality you're going to use to approach that. So you're going to do that. And then you're also looking for your very first team member, or at least one more team member. Maybe you already have 1 or 2. Everybody's adding 1 new team member this week. That is your homework. So you're going on a little recruiting scavenger hunt. How fun is this? So what are you doing? You're going to be a detective. You're out looking around and you're looking for someone who you know who needs extra income, someone who just needs more fun in their life, which I think everybody could say that's them. So everybody's going to be on your scavenger hunt. Maybe someone who has a similar situation as you. Are you a mom with young kids at home? Are you an empty nester mom? Are you a working man outside your home? Whatever you are, who is in a similar situation to yours? Look for them. Who do you just think would be fun to work with? Who do you think would just be great to have on your team? What about past hosts and upcoming hosts? You're looking for them, reaching out, and certainly the rock star guests in your parties are someone that you're going to be looking for. So we've just given you 6 ideas or more of people that you can look for, and people are looking for work. So you absolutely can all do this and add at least 1 team member to your team this week.
Yeah, and so we can put the words to message your host, because that's part of your homework. Message every single host that you book. We can put those words in the comments under this video so that you can grab them from there. And then if someone is interested and they want to learn more, we want to make sure you know how to direct them to some information. So you each have a website, a personal website. I'm going to share the screen again. And as you can see my website, right? Is that the right screen up on the board? Okay, cool. So this is my personal website. If you go to be a consultant, and then if you copy this link right here in your browser, or even if you're on your phone, you can actually share this link right from your phone. I know on an iPhone, it's a little box with an arrow pointing up. That's how you get the link. This is a great link to send anyone who's interested in learning more about the business, because it's first of all, it's connected to your website. So if they decide to join, they're automatically going to join your team. There's some great videos. It shows our kits. It just has a lot of great information on there for them to look at. The other thing you can do is start a three-way chat with yourself, the person that's interested in the business, and your director. And for many of you, that's me or Julie. You want to start a three-way chat with them. And let us help you share the business opportunity with them. So we have a secret phrase for you to message back to us so that you can get the link to our next live Zoom call. Ready, Julie? Maybe we can say it together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hit apply.
Yes, do it.
Message us the phrase hit apply, and then we will send you the Zoom link to our next call. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.